Hey there, lads and lasses. This is, of course, Thunderhand64, adjusting his microphone. Coming at you live from the west coast of the United States. And it's going to be here on a Wednesday. It is a little bit past noontime, and that can only mean that it's time for some Generations. Minecraft server. Yeah, I'm setting up all my stuff here. Don't remember the camera being zoomed out quite this much, but Ugh. All right, let me bring my mic level up a little bit. That way when I'm muttering, you can hear my muttering. Okay, I think that's fairly what we would consider a normal parameters. Let me get that right about there. There we go. Okay, so hey, well, welcome to Generations today, Generation Stream. Couple of announcements. You know, I always like to make a few announcements here before we get started. Buffooncraft. SMP Season 6, baby! That will be starting, that will launch Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I will stream that. Yes, I was originally thinking of recording the opening and then posting the recording up on the YouTube channel, Thunderhand64_gaming2. But I figured, no, I'll just stream that. I'll just stream it Sunday. Of course, the VOD will be archived there, so you'll be able to see that. But again, that will be Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. How long shall I stream? Probably 2 hours. Probably 2 hours. That'll be 10, 11, so probably 10 to noon. And then we'll see if Kachi wants to do Kachi time after that. From 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's canceled the last 2 Kachi times. He hasn't felt up for it. So we'll see what he feels like doing. But nevertheless, Buffooncraft SMP Season 6 shall launch Sunday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I cannot wait. What to expect? We don't know. We know there's going to be a little bit of lore involved right at the beginning, but also we're going to have that most beloved and most cherished early game experience as well. Some of it, you know, so there'll be some punching trees and scrambling for wool to make beds to get through the night and stuff like that. There'll be that fun stuff. But there'll also be some lore and some structures and some destinations and stuff. And so stick around. It's going to be fun. We have some newish members. Some of the Buffoon community members are now full Buffoons. And we have at least one brand new member. And maybe more, but I know we have at least one. So please, if you have the time, drop in and check out any one of our streams. Right? So your favorite Buffoons will be streaming at that time. So look for the notifications. Check in to each one of us. Some of the other Buffoons who won't be there right at 10 a.m. for the launch will be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be streaming it later. They'll be joining the server later, a few hours later. I may stay on the server as long as I can throughout the day, or I may visit again at night to try to jump in on their streams as well. You know, so to make certain that there'll be at least somebody on the server. My thinking there is it's survival multiplayer. And, you know, it's not as fun when you're on the SMP by yourself. So I want to make sure somebody else is always on there at all times. And the Buffoons may try to do like a rolling stream where we're all logging in on after each other to try to roll forward the raids and to try to cover the time zones as much as we can to make the multiplayer experience as available to everybody as possible. So anyways, today though, two things. So today, Wednesday, we will be doing Generations. We're on the Survival Generation 5 map today, and we'll be working on the undersea terraforming around our little apiary isle. I am still going to stream Friday, but in that Buffooncraft slot, we will do Baby Zombie Rush again. That'll be from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday. So, and then, of course, Sunday will be the Buffooncraft Season 6 launch. And then the Fridays after that will resume the Buffooncraft streams on their slot, Friday 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Let's get to some Minecraft then, shall we? That means switching on over to the display scene like this. Logging on in like that. Dropping the music back just a little more. I think right about there is fine. Hey there. You know, I really do miss the zoom that I used to have with Optifine. And I know they have Logical Zoom, and they have a couple of other zooms. Zoom data pack, resource pack, mod, or whatever it is. I know they do have a few of those. I really ought to get around to installing one of those. Because being panned out like this and then zooming in, that's just a fun cinematic thing to be able to do. So, okay, everybody. Can I get the Apiary Isle in on the side? Maybe not. Okay, I was thinking of posing for a thumbnail. All right, enough of this silliness. It's nighttime. We should do some sleeping. But you know what? Oh. What's happening? Oh, wow. That's leftover from Baby Zombie Rush. There we go. Whoa, that's scary. Okay, yeah, so our last... when we logged onto the server last, we had Baby Zombie Rush, right? We were doing that, and so that was creative mode, and I needed to switch back over. Look at how the Guardian Farm looks at night. It's so beautiful, huh? Look at Mushroom Island Central. It's just so cool. And of course, I have the BSL shaders on right now. But then when you continue to fly on through like this, it looks so cool in here. And then, oh, you know what? I disabled the Dramatic Skies resource pack. Let's put that back on. Let's see. I think it's under options, right? Resource packs. There it is. There we go. See, that's very beautiful. Let's just wait for it to render in here. Just give it a moment. Usually it does a much better job at blending in the horizon. But I'd like to see if I could take advantage of this screenshot here. Then maybe I can get my thumbnail out of the way right now, because the last few times I've been forgetting that. The last few streams. Please, Thunder, please. Maybe come over this way a little. You know, that's not so bad a thumbnail right there. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, a little something like, oh, if you pull back just right. There we go. That's nice. We can get the apiary aisle down there a little bit. So, okay, enough of that. Let's go do our sleeping thing. Look how beautiful this place is, huh? Look at this little thing. So nice out here. I always miss Generations. Whenever I'm away too long, this always feels like my home. And of course, we're awakened to the pop and click of our Bumblebee friends here. Hey there, fellas. Top of the morning to you. There they are. Okay. So when last we left off, we were gathering up some of this dead coral here. And we were going to be using that for one of the geologic layers, strata, for our island. What is this? This is the dead coral, and this is the brain coral. And I think we decided that we were going to mix these in like that. So you know what I think I can do is, well, first of all, let's disable those. Those will be, it'll be a little easier to navigate underwater here and to do working. You know what I'm trying to do here. We'll do this. And so you can see where we have a band here of the tuff and the mossy cobble. And so now the next band I would like to do down here would be a band of the coral. And, you know, I would like to make the bands a lot wider, as several blocks wide, or thick, or whatever dimension you want to say, height there. But that's also a lot of coral. So let's get the coral on there and let's see what it looks like. And then if we have to go get more coral, we shall. All right. And so what I'm thinking is, let's start putting in I think the brain coral is going to look the best. So I would like to use that for the main block. Yeah, I'd like to use that for the main block, and then we'll pepper in the fire coral after. Right, and I if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay, there we go. We could just do this kind of a thing. Like this. And so let's go in and let's just put in maybe a 2-block band, and you can see where I've infiltrated the cobble and some of the mossy cobble and some of the tuff into here. But the coral layer does start right around here. So this is where we'll take it, right from here. And you can see where I've already put in some of the fire coral. Yeah, thunder, please. Please. This is the dead brain coral, just like I want. All right, and this is this here, just like I want. I think I was doing that. Right. That. And that's what I don't like about the clay and the mud, is I have to use the shovel to break it. Like that. Okay, that's looking better. No. That's where I'm making my mistake with my hands. All right. Do that, that, and that. And we can do this and this. Some of this in here. And then we can just fill in some of this stuff now. All right, let's pull on back here and let's have a gander. Okay, now see that brain coral has a pretty bold texture on it. Okay. But I don't know. I think it makes a pretty good transition between the tough. Actually, it's I think it's a much better transition right up against the tough here. Oh, look at this dude. I feel a great swell of pity for anybody who comes to this place looking for trouble. Come on back, try it. Please. Thank you. Right between his dead, wrinkly prune eyes. All right. So I think we'll just go around like this and... And then in these gaps, I think that's where I'll start to place... I'll start to fill in the gaps that way with the... this stuff. The fire coral. So see, I'll leave that gap open, right? And then go back with the fire coral and put that in. Am I out? I think I am, right? Where's dead brain coral right there? There we go. And as I said in the opening, you know, we may have to go and go on another coral run. I hope not, but I think so because I want to make this a rather wide band. Of material here. And if that's the case, I think I'm going to need more coral than I originally imagined. Imagined, not imagined. All right, so we can do that, and this, and this, that. I think we can just move things right along this way. Though we may have to go and speckle in some stuff there, but I think we'll be good. Again, if I pull back like this, and then we can just... Now, my aim is to... fill that in later. One of the things I don't like about this, though, is it may just be too much of a transition between this and this. But I don't know. I kind of want it to be. I think the contrast is a better way to go with this. Right. So let's go put this stuff into place. Just on this edge over here, and we can go. We can then see what this stuff looks like. I will pull back a little bit. Yeah, you know, that's not so bad. And I think it looks better from a distance. And then, you know, we may try to make this about maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. We may make it like 5 blocks wide if we can, if we have enough. And remember, it's also going to have vegetation on it as well. So, right? So that stuff would be all filling in between there like this. All right, and I know this looks like it has a pattern to it and stuff. We'll break up that pattern as well. But my thinking is, you know, if I do it this way, then I don't have to waste so much time switching blocks. Just go fill in with one kind of block and then go back and then work on the other. Dang. There it is. So this is going to be a very, very busy week at the Thunderhand household. Especially tomorrow, because tomorrow's Halloween. So we have events at Kachi's school, to which we need to attend. And then Kachi's going out to do trick-or-treat with his friends in a different neighborhood. That's a bit of a drive from here, so we have to bring him to that. So tomorrow's going to be a very busy day. Stuff is looking good. Let's do some of this. Sometimes this stuff winds up showing on the sides if depending on how the fill works, right? So sometimes it gets covered, sometimes it doesn't, so it's just easier to fill it in now. This. I did manage to get in a little bit of prep time. So I stocked up on things like rockets. I got my secondary conduit into my toolbox. Of course, it being Generations, I did have a secondary conduit. I'm thinking, maybe I should go craft up a conduit just in case and everything. But you know what? This is Generations. I probably have one in my tool shulker. And sure enough, I actually have the makings for 2. So, so I have 3 of them in total. So again, gotta love Generations. I needed to repair my wings. I went to the trading hall to repair them. And so I traded the farmers to get the extra emeralds. And in seconds, the wings were repaired. In seconds. Again, trading hall's just right over there. You know, just fly in, trade off some pumpkins, good to go. Generations, people. Let's see. Dead brain, cool. Hey there. Have a little brain salad surgery right in there. There you go. Of course, kudos to anybody who knows that reference. There we go. yeah, okay. That's the pattern for which I was conforming, whatever I'm trying to say there with the English and the words. There's Nebula. Nebs! Speaking of buffoons. How are you today? So you guys can see the auto shout out there for the one and only Princess Nebula. Nebs has, I guess you could say recently returned to streaming. So yeah, please go check her out. And one of our favorite streams that Nebs does is the Sleepy Time streams. Those are great. Very relaxing. And of course, the mighty Shut Mountain. Both friends, both moderators, both fellow buffoons right there. I'm super busy, but in a good way. Uh-oh. Oh, really? A trident boy. Oh, it's a trident duel. Pardon me while I deal with this. Ha! Ha! And there we go. Did he drop the trident? You scoundrel. Oh, wait. No, I think he did. I think he did. And it looks like it's enchanted, too. That's not bad. If this were early game survival, I would be right pleased with that. And it already has the loyalty on it, which is the very, very first enchantment you ever put on a trident. For obvious reasons. All right, let's head to the surface here. And we'll do the sleeping thing, and then we'll check in with our friends here in the chat. Done. Let's see. I am still sporadic, but I am streaming at least once a week. Indeed. So, you guys will very likely be seeing Princess Nebula in Shut Mountain on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know if they'll be right on at 10. I think they will, though. And joining the rest of us buffoons for our launch of the Season 6 of Buffooncraft. All right, let's get back to filling this in. Oh, yeah, I'll be there at the opening time. I've already got Sunday planned out. Nice, nice. Shut is probably at work or driving home from work right now, but I imagine he will be there as well. Shut usually never misses an opening, so... All right. We're getting close. All right. We can pull back here and you can kind of see the effect that we're going for here. And so then we can start bringing this down a little bit more here. I'm going to pull out some of this tuff here. Oh, we're out. There we go. I think I had another like that. And I was doing that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so this is the kind of look we're going for. And then, but like I said, I want to make this layer a lot thicker than I made the other layers. Is that a fish that's kind of wedged in there? Weird. Dude, that looks painful. I'm just saying. And again, it looks like I'm... Well, it doesn't just look like. I mean, I am actually replacing blocks that I had set earlier. But it's because I changed my mind about what I wanted this area to look like. And despite my Y chromosome, I have the right to do that. So I'm going to do it. There we go. Again, we need to replace some of this stuff here. All right. Can I not fit that? Is my inventory full? Yeah, let's go take care of that. We'll come right back. Here we go. How long are you streaming on Sunday? I'll probably do the 2 hours, but what I will also do is I have to find out whether Kachi feels up to Kachi time or not. But I will also be logging on the server after the opening, just in case buffoons join us late. There's at least one other person on the server, right? So we can keep the multiplayer, at least for that day. So, currently driving home. Thought so. Yes, drive safe. The dead coral looks really good. I think that might have been your suggestion, Nebs. And that's why we have back seating allowed. All right, so, yeah, we were going to help take care of the inventory here. Alleviate the inventory dilemma. Let's get rid of this stone. I should really nuke this stone is what I should do, but fire coral, here's some mud. Let's see if we have room in some of these other chests for these other items. Fire coral, so it should just be... Oh, we have the tuff as well, right? Let's see if we can get rid of that. There we go. And we should just be fire coral now. And I'll tell you what. Got a little trophy here. Everything else I think is okay. Right. Back at it. I'm planning on starting stream right before we all log on to begin and streaming for a long time. Won't be nearly like your 11 hours. That is not going to be a common event. I never streamed that long. That killed me. I was ruined for like days and days after that. All right, what I think I'll do here is I will switch between the fire coral and the dead brain coral. And so what I'm thinking of is just doing something like that and just going around here and filling in the gaps like this. with the fire coral like this. And we'll just go in and fill in like this first, and then we'll have a butcher. We'll see what it looks like. So when we pull back, again, when you're right on it, it looks pretty jarring, but when you pull back, it's not so bad. But, you know, I just got the notion that it might have been good to use the fire coral here with the denser texture. Use that as the base texture, and then use the brain coral as a variant. But I don't know. Right. And then we may have to go on another coral run pretty soon. Maybe. I was originally just going to start the stream with the coral run, but, you know, we did so much of that the last time. I actually just wanted to get some of this in place to see what it looks like. And, you know, sure enough, again, this looks a little jarring, but when you back out from it, it's really not so bad, right? So I bet that is a long time for Mr. 2 hours. Yes. Yeah. But your 2 hours are great. Such a relaxing time. Just sit back and hang out. Well, that's what I aim to do, right? I think Sunday will be a little less relaxing. That's going to be bananas. Occasionally we do have those kind of streams. They're kind of tense. But I think it's a good mix. What I'm really looking forward to is, I mean, it's going to be fun to see the lore and the structures and the set that has been designed for that. But at the same time, I'm actually more excited about an early game kind of experience. So I'm really looking forward to punching trees and scrambling for wool and trying to find iron deposits and things like that. That's because a world like Generations has been going on for so long now that I have everything on this server. So I really do miss any opportunities to experience early game again. I really do miss that kind of stuff. And I think the other buffoons do as well. I won't speak for the others, but early game is fun. Especially when you've been playing the advanced game for so long that you forget how to play early game. That's always funny. How do I craft this? I forgot the recipe. So when you pull back, you can kind of see the breakup of the pattern and stuff, and it makes it a little more erratic. Somehow I failed to round this corner, or no, I did. I just didn't drop down. All right. right, so I'm actually like on those 2 layers right there, I think. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm good here, and I'm good here, and I may have... Oh, no, we need more over here. We need to close this. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to bring this down by another few layers. Although I should pepper in some stuff right around here, I think. Let's do some stuff like this, I think. Yeah, that should do it. Hawk, did I really just do that? Please, Saboteur, if you wouldn't mind. All right, that's good. And so, like I'm thinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to at least put that much on there, and we'll see how that looks. I am back. I had a phone call from my sister. I hope everything's well. And I think I'm going to concentrate a little bit more on the fire coral on this layer here. And so that means we can go put this in this layer here like this. And maybe we can do the same kind of thing here, like this. Again, one thing I don't like about using the mud blocks and the clay blocks. Is I have to switch tools, and I don't like that. Let us do something like this. There we go. Like that. And okay, I think that cleans up that, but well, a little bit. We have some of this we have to do, right? There, so when we pull back like this, that's starting to come together a little bit. And again, you know, you just bear with us. If it looks very, very jarring like this, it's going to be covered with plants and stuff, so... Okay, let's do something like this and this. Pull that up right there. Take this one. Yeah, and then we're starting to come around to the other side. Great. Stuff needs to be this. I forgot that. I had that pre-selected. Then we can close off some of this, like this. And then maybe for this layer down here, we can kind of reverse things. Like we can go in and do some of the gaps with the brain coral now and replace some of the stone with the fire coral. Kind of break things up a little bit. So let's do that kind of a thing. And if we pull back, we can kind of get an idea of how that's gonna mix things up a bit. Let's get caught up here. Back. Yep, her and I talk every day. Oh, that's nice. It's good for her recovery and accountability to keep her on track. So, can I ask, what are your goals for Sunday? Anything you want to do right away? Couple of things. Survive. But mainly Sunday is meeting our new folks on the server, getting acquainted with them, just getting our basic stuff set up, right? And learning what's in store for us as far as lore and structures. So it's Sunday for me is going to be more like a recon mission, really. But if there's enough time, I do foresee me spending a lot of time just horsing around with you guys. I do see that happening a lot. So as far as like, you know, some really established hardcore goals, no. Other than I want to look around and I want to get the idea of what's coming down and who I'm building with. Of course, the returning buffoons, I know all of you guys, but we do have some new or newer kind of people on here, and I want to make sure that I get plenty of interaction with them. All the chaos with just horsing around. Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. But my first goal as far as building is concerned will be to start to get the trading hall set up. I know some farms are going to go up very, very fast, especially if Shut Mountain's on the server. Farms will go up really, really fast. There'll be an iron farm right away. There'll be a mob farm. Probably Lone will blast out the mob farm right away. And then I'll see if I can get the basic layout for the trading hall right away. So I'll be off scrambling to, pick a site, number one. And then start to get things in place for the trading hall. So we can get the trades going as soon as possible. Four new buffoons. Some of those buffoons you've seen on our streams on the community server. For the other viewers who might not be familiar. Three you all have built, with one is really only new. Yes. Okay, yeah, let's go in and let's fill in all this fire coral now. And I believe I can just... Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, the way I'm spamming this in with 2 blocks like this, 2 different texture blocks like this, is not fast. But it moves along. Well, once I hit the stride, it's pretty good. All right, I'm liking that. Let's pull back and have a look. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And Nebs, I think you said something too about the acacia wood blocks with the bark on all 6 surfaces. That might also be another block that we can put in here. And personally, I think, you know, it may not be for this application, but this dead fire coral block and that acacia wood block are similar enough, but also different enough where they might look really cool side by side. I'm not sure I'll use them that way here, but I'm thinking of using that acacia tree block and a different kind of layer with a different kind of transitional palette, whatever. But just considering that now, I think those 2 blocks will go well together. And we're in an ad break for those of you who are subject to those kinds of things. Of course, if you're watching the VOD, you shall not be affected. Yes, now that the ad break is over, I would like to welcome in our fellow buffoon, Mr. Supernova Relic. Looking great, Thunder. Thank you, sir. Thank you. do not consider terraforming as one of my strong points, so I look to the likes of you and Nebula for terraforming skill. See if I can acquire some of your skill there. And that's what I love about my association with the buffoons. How are you doing today, sir? I hope you're doing well over there. For you, it's let me see. It's evening over there for you. Okay, so now I'm officially in the ad break. The other was just the ad notification. Huck. Okay, here we are. There he is. So, Nova, I don't know if you heard during the ad break or not, but welcome on in. And thanks for the compliment. Appreciate it. So I'm figuring like maybe 5 layers of this stuff. Two new messages. There we are. Yes, we were just talking about Sunday, Mr. Relic, and we could not be more excited. All right, so let me think. I'm down here, like. I personally can't wait to get over to the Winchester there and knock a few back with you guys on Sunday. That's going to be fun. All right, so let's switch this up again a little bit. Let's go back to our other texture. I can't tell you guys how, how happy I am to have a Buffoon-Craft Season 6. I'm so pleased. So pleased. And even though Sunday is usually not one of my streaming days, I'll be streaming it that day. Let me see what I want to do here. Okay, so what was I doing? All right, let's break this up a little bit, actually. Let's try to do something like this. And I'll see if I can fill gaps with the... I mean, is that what I was doing? Let's restart the playlist. And I need to switch to standing mode at this point. We're at the halfway. I'm all tangled up. All right. Alrighty then. Sláinte. My gigantic pint of coffee. Because I'm old and I need to stay awake. I will have to pick up Kachi pretty soon right after the stream, but I think I'll have a little time to raid out. And get in here a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. I like to break up my pattern here, so let's see what I was doing. Yeah, it looks like I was replacing the stone with the fire coral, and then I was filling gaps with this. So let's go opposite with that, just to just to break things up a little bit. Right, so I'll go around. I'll do a little something like this. And let's just cruise right along here. Not quite the Nova spamming the blocks thing. I have to be a little more thoughtful about it. It's a curse. But I'll get there. I'll get there, Nova. If somehow you guys haven't seen Nova do his thing before, it's nuts. He'll come in here with like about maybe 3 or 4 shulkers full of absolute crap blocks, and in like less than an hour of just randomly. Well, I don't know how much of that is random, Nova. I really don't. But spamming blocks, and then it just looks magnificent. Got a real talent for that. All right, we can do something like this. Now again, here, if I knew the palette I was working with ahead of time, then I probably wouldn't have sketched this out in the stone blocks. But at the same time, you know, that's why I have to go remove the stone and then fill it back in after. But I just needed to establish the shape first. And I figured I would use a stone block for that because I need the pickaxe for the other blocks, and that way I wouldn't have to be switching tools constantly. Oh, here we go. Sorry, my furrowing just after I typed. Okay. Compare it to giving a chimp a bunch of colored pens. Nova, it's the end result that counts, right? That's all that matters. We have the saying here. I don't know if it's a saying there as well, you know. Put enough monkeys in a room with enough typewriters and you're bound to get something, right? So I can't help but think I'm putting a little too much into this, but if you think about it, though, I'm really just trying to keep the palette simple. And I know that doesn't look simple, but when you look at the way I'm doing it, like this is just 2 blocks. That's just 2 different kinds of blocks. This is just 2, you know, and that's just one kind of block up there. So but I do think I made the bands a little too narrow up there at the top. All right, let's go fill in with the fire coral now, if I need to. I think I was bringing this around. So you can go either 2 ways with something like this, I imagine. You could spend the time on the textured blocks and then use less vegetation. That's kind of how Flying and I decided to finish up the Iron Farm on the Season 5 map. Instead of going really wild on the terrain and stuff, it's just easier to use the foliage, right, to cover it up. Just get a basic shape. Use the foliage to cover it up, and then big bang boom, done. So grateful to Flying for coming in and helping me out with that. because he works so fast, and that way I could just focus on the remaining features. On the Spectral Ventures community site, the Buffooncraft Season 5 map is available to download. So you can imagine I'll be getting my thunderous hands on that, because I like to archive all that stuff for history. That, in its own right, like all of our seasons, is a historic event. Said like an American. I suppose if I were to say that in correct English, it'd be an historical event. Right, so I think I was going around. Yeah, this is where I was at. And I was doing a little something like this, right? Just crank it along. There we go. Well, thanks. I appreciate the compliment. It's this kind of thing is me really trying to incorporate some of the skill I see you guys do. Just to if for example, let's see this in the morning light here if we can. Oh wait, I'm facing east. That is a morning light. For example, I could, when I knock out a farm like this, I could just leave the farm, right? Like a prime example here is the wool farm, right? You just build the guts of the farm, you get the wool that you need, and off you go to whatever it is you're building, right? But I'm trying to do less of that now, especially on Generations. The wool farm certainly functions the way it's supposed to function. It kicks butt for days, right? But, I would really like it to look more like a structure with a little bit of a story and stuff to it, instead of it just being, just a farm, I mean, I personally like looking at all the redstone and stuff. I think it looks kind of cool in its own right, but if I could make a little structure out of this and stuff and had a little story, with some props and things around it, that's what I've been trying to embrace lately. So here I needed a honey farm for this island, and I figure, you know what, we got the honey farm, let's try to make a little bit of a story out of it, Speak far better English than you, sir. Have had too much. Honey to Dew Island. How dare you? How dare you? Generations is where I go to get away from that, Nebs. Just saying. I'm just saying. I admire your little play on words there, but I'm just saying. You found it funny and I know it. Yes, I did. Anytime I get to spout a little mock indignation, yeah, that's always funny. And the older I am when I do it, the funnier it is. All right. So that's what I'm trying to do anyway. Trying to see if I can, bring a little bit more story, more finished looking builds, instead of just the, I have this farm just sitting out in the open and that farm sitting out in the open. It's just try to make them look like, part of the story. I'm just, as usual, not as fast as that. Not as fast at that. Like, that was my goal with the Iron Farm in Season 5 Buffooncraft. As I always say, Shutt was gracious enough to let me expand that, and then the idea was to try to build around it and make it look like something, instead of just the guts of an iron farm. All right. Let's try to do some filling in here. All right, let's see what we can do here. So yeah, trying to get geared up for Sunday, which means I'm going to have to stop by Bevmo and make sure I'm all stocked up on the Guinness for that stream. But it's cool, I'm looking forward to even little things like just updating the stream scene for Buffooncraft and stuff with the new graphics and stuff. Just just fun little things like that. And Nova, I don't know if you heard when I mentioned it earlier, but just the early game aspects of it, are that's just so much fun. Brand new server, new people on there to meet and stuff, and with whom we can build and stuff. That's just so much fun. New lore to explore. I'm looking forward to seeing what mad scientist kind of farm you make in Season 6. I love the gas farm in Season 5. Okay. Weird question. All right. Gas farm was so much fun to build. I'm so glad you like that. I'm hoping I can come up with something as wacky as that. I know Villager and I were talking about building a Wither Skull farm. That's going to incorporate some complete insanity. We may focus on that on Season 5, so I may put that in there, but we'll have to see. But that gas farm was a lot of fun to build. In fact, I was thinking on rebuilding that here in Generations and making a video of it. And I might still do that. That would be a lot of fun. But that farm that you had built in, was that Season 4 or Season 3 with the gas in the Wither Skull farm? That thing was insane. That was hilarious. Oh, wait. No, that may have been Season 2, I think, right? Okay, weird question. Did 1.21 get a new skeleton? I saw something about a swamp skelly called a bogged. Yes, I believe so. I can't wait. I have big plans, but really want to enjoy the early game more this season. Yeah, me too. I think that was Season 3. I don't know. I think it was Season 2, Nebs. But we've got Nova in the chat. He can confirm. I think it was Season 2. They all blur into one after a while. Yes, the only reason why I think it was Season 2 was because I remember letting the Wither loose in the Nether, and I was horrified that it would wipe out that build because you had just finished that build, and I was in a blind panic. Newbie on the server, and the first thing he does, well, it wasn't the first thing I did. I had plenty more blunders than that. But one of the first things I did was release a Wither in the Nether. And then I lost him. Good times. Nowadays, I wouldn't even give that a second thought. That Wither would be history. History. All right, let's switch this up again with the Dead Fire Coral. Again, you know, I don't want to make promises about upcoming things when I'm not exactly sure I can pull them off. I don't want to tip my thunderous hand too soon. But there might be some music stuff. I know I've been talking about that for a while and everything, but what I've been doing is the learning curve for that is so great for me. You know, I'm not, you know, I have a whole like new updated level of technology because my musical skill is like playing live in like the 80s and especially in the 90s. So all my music skill is in that kind of a format. And so to adapt to that with things like, digital audio workstations and audio interfaces and all of that kind of stuff, you know, that's proving to, that has proved to be much bigger learning curve than I anticipated. But I've been making strides in that, especially this past year. And so, I don't know, I might be able to, if not by the end of 2024, definitely 2025, have something to listen to in that regard coming up soon. Both Kachi and I have been making a lot of progress in that regard. So we'll see how that goes. But that's something I've been wanting to do for a very, very, very long time. But with the progress, I've also made some realizations that in some aspects, I can't really do music like I used to because I'm getting old. And my hands don't work like they used to. So I can't quite play bass like I used to play. I used to be able to smoke the frets right off of those instruments, but now I can't quite do that. But I still think I can make some decent music with that. So we'll see how that goes. Ugh. All right. Do I have no more of the fire coral? There we go. Please. Hands, please. Okay, there we go. We're back at this. So when I first started streaming, what I wanted to do was I wanted to have my own stream music. So you can hear the playlists I make from Epidemic Sound, which they're great, you know, but I would rather do that stuff myself, actually. All right, what am I doing here? It looks like... Okay, it looks like this layer I was doing brain coral and that layer fire coral. Okay, all right, let's see if we can resume that. So maybe I should go back to this like this. And again, it doesn't have to be super consistent, but, you know, one of the things, I know I make complicated patterns for my procedures and stuff sometimes. But that actually helps me not to think. And I think I described that in the last in the last generation stream. When I come up with a pattern for something, that actually helps me not think, because then I establish a procedure for something, and then it's just a matter of following that, right? And I don't have to think so hard. Whereas if I try to do things more randomly, I place a block and then I look at it and I think about it and I think about it and then I take it out and I put it back in. It's not cool. It's not cool. That actually makes me overthink. All right, I need to go get some more fire coral on the surface, but let's pull back and let's have a look at this. And again, this is where I bemoan the dolphins, because it's like now is the time where I could use I could use the dolphin right now to just whip around this thing and have a look. But this is good, actually. I like this. And as you can see, I really don't have that far to go. I'm going to make the bands a lot wider. They were a little narrow at the top, and I mentioned earlier I'm going to make them wider. So when I get down to here, I'm thinking I will use the cobble deep slate, and maybe some other block down right about here. And that will also be a wide band of probably about maybe 7 blocks wide of those two kinds of blocks. And we'll get those in there and we'll see what those look like. Oh yeah, I remember the loose wither. He was free for a good while, and then yes. Thankfully, he wasn't that destructive. We'll blunder around during our first season with these Chaos Masters, yeah. I remember my first season very well. It was the first time I shocked Nova. Certainly not the last. I don't think I've ever a shocked Nova shot. What? Had a mountaintop tower built in the first half hour. He thought I was hacking. Shot was a buffoon right off the bat. Yes. Talk about your perfect fits, right? I think that's the first and only time I ever built something faster than you. Let me see. Your brain likes to know what it's doing. Yeah, it does. Just don't look at it, drop it, and move, and drop it. Yes. I wish I could. Shot. I wish I could. All right. Let's see if I have any more of that fire coral here. Yes. And no. Okay, I've got a little bit, and then we may, how am I doing here? 1:37. I have 23 minutes left of the stream. So we may actually have to go on another coral run. But again, that's why I didn't want to go on the coral run at the beginning of the stream. I wanted to actually lay the blocks in from the last time so we could have a look, have ourselves a butcher, and see the results of our decision-making process here. There we go. And I'm liking it. Which would be a little sillier if I was placing the glow lichen right now, but all right, let's just do this. Some stuff like that. There we go. And we'll break up some of this stuff a little bit right in here. What I was trying to do with these corner details, and I may resume after I get the basic layers in place. I had these dark rock features jutting out above the island here at various points. Yeah, you can see Nebs's ghast farm off there on the side. But you can see these rock structures, these geological structures here poking out in different parts of the island. Here. And right there. And the plan was to have some of those dark features kind of snake their way down here and sort of infiltrate these like veins coming down in through here a little bit in just those spots. Right, and then they'll just blend in with everything else. So that's what I started to do over here on that side. So right here. So if you see me replacing those blocks, that was the idea. And I didn't like the way that it was coming out. So before my first attempt at doing this, I had really vertical looking patterns, and it just looked terrible. And things look more natural when they're more horizontal, right? At least they do to me. So that was my thinking here. There's Dolphin. See, Dolphin shows up when I don't need him. Ugh. Whatever. Let's do this. And this, and this. Okay. All right, we're starting to get into the groove of things here a little bit. And going the route with establish the pattern and then break the pattern. And then once I run out of this fire coral, we'll spend the last few minutes of the stream. We'll make another coral run. Because that's always fun to do, right? But I'm going to have to fly off to a coral reef again that in chunks in which I don't build, because I often feel bad about ripping those things up because they look so nice. So Generations, I'm thinking on installing the mod or the resource data pack that allows me to farm the coral. That way I don't have to rip up the reefs, because I consider the reefs, at least around the immediate archipelago here, to be like part of the build. So I don't want to rip them up. Like if on the western side of all of this inland sea, are a lot of coral reefs there, but I want to keep those in there actually, because they look awesome. All right, let's do this. All right, this is all stone and stuff like that. This can go back in these, even though I'm out of room in the old inventory. Right? Yeah, I think so. That means I need to go get more shulkers. But I know this one's coming with me. And then, you know what? Maybe I can dump this stuff off at the depot there, because I won't need as much. Yeah, let's do that. Besides, you guys can have an updated look at this. Some of you haven't seen this down here, so. I think I just figured out what I want to build. Thunder, you're giving me inspiration. I like that. I like it when that happens. You went so bad yourself with your big ideas, Thunder. So this season, for season 6, I'm thinking on making another large build like I did with season 4 of that kind, with that kind of style. Right now, I'm trying to work out the math to do that. And I have to acquire some skills for that I do not already have. Looks like I'm out of shulkers too. Do I have any up in my hotel room? I might. I think one shulker will be enough though, because we only have a few minutes left of the stream here, like 15 more minutes. But yes, I am working on my build for season 6 and planning that out to see, first of all, to see if I can actually do it. But the technique I'll use is similar to what I did in season 4, where I'll make a 3D model in Blender and then I will voxelize it and scale it and then generate the sliced diagrams, the plans, and then build it out. This one's going to be a little mathier than the other one was, if I can pull it off. If I can pull it off. But I know some of the buffoons have big plans, and I simply cannot wait to see what they come up with. But like Nova and I mentioned earlier, just that early game kind of blundering around and punching trees and scrounging for food and iron and stuff like that, and just generally horsing around with the other buffoons and stuff, that's going to be fun. Man, I really love the terrain generation in this map. This is my favorite map. It really is. And, you know, each time I prune the chunks on this, I save the chunks that, of course, in which I'm building. But it just keeps getting better and better. All right. I did have some coral reefs around here, but these chunks are struggling to load. Chunks, please load. Please. Yeah, you can tell I don't come out here that often. Although I was out here last week, I would expect these to... Yikes. That's where things get scary. Chunks, please load. Please. Please. Okay. Please, chunks, load. Please load. Let me see. Here we go. All right. Good Lord, that's scary. All right. Let's do a little sleeping here on the bottom of the ocean. A little trick that Nibs taught me, by the way. And, of course, the mighty, the one and only Lone Star. Welcome in, Lone. How are you doing this evening over there? Now, please, Chunks, if you could just load. Yeah, that would be great. Thanks. All right, let me see. Heading away. Heading away. So we need to be over this mangrove forest here. And then the bits of the ocean for which I am searching should be right over here. You know, I think Mrs. Thunderhand is watching her Taiwanese shows on... Yikes. and using up the bandwidth. But I can't really see it because we're supposed to have we have the FiOS internet with a 500 up, 500 down. So we should have plenty of bandwidth. But usually the reef stuff is over this way. Good. You could not be better, sir. Very busy this week. Please. Chunks, please. Please load. Please. Yikes. There we go. Of course. Oh, wow. We have a little temple there. I do have my render distance set way out right now, but usually that's not a problem. But my vendor Shockbite lately, 2024 has not been a good year for them. Has not been a good year. Okay, here we are. Now, here I may have... This may be where I was... Oh, no. This is a new reef. This is a new area. Good. Because the brain coral and the fire coral, that's the stuff I need. And let me see. Let's get a... Let's get a center point here, and that's where we can place our conduit so we can make the best use of it. Right here's a pretty good place. Let's do that. Yeah. So, a couple things. Let's go. Let's plant this like right over here. And let's put that right over there. And let's click on that just in case. I don't plan on dying here at all. But you never know. And let me see. As I said earlier, because this is generations on here, we have multiple conduits. I had to check. Is conduits the plural of conduit? I believe it is. Because even though it has a French derivation, conduit, right, it's still considered an English word, so plural has the S. Right, so let's do this. And you know what? I don't need to clear it that way. I can just do this. And then, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. Like this. Thusly. Hands, please. Okay, I'm digging it. Done and done. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. And then, yeah, here's our efficiency 5 right here. Right here, you know what I'm saying? Let's go get the snad out of there. And we'll start with the fire coral. That's the one for which we need the most. And then we can do some ASMR here with the coral mining. Or harvesting. I guess you harvest coral. You don't necessarily mine it. Come on, come on. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I could use all kinds of coral, right? But if we decided that the brain coral and the fire coral are the best, and I like to limit the palette because I think it's faster. Because then I, don't have to waste a lot of time switching between blocks as I place them. And I know a lot of these are floating on up past me up to the surface, but then, I'll do a little bit of work like this, then I'll go skim the surface and collect all the stuff. I just got to remember to get up there before it despawns. That's why I try to harvest this stuff by swimming above it so it floats up into my inventory and it doesn't get past me. It's kind of nice that this stuff is so color-coded, though, like this. We need the red stuff and the pink stuff. Huh? When did we place that there? Oh, you know what? These might be generated from a... Yeah, see that suspicious sand? This might be a botched generation of a ruin. Yeah, here we go. Indeed. I just saw, I just saw the one piece and I'm like, huh? Have I been out here before? I don't think so. Now, that's an ocean ruin, actually. And botch, by botch, I mean incomplete. Maybe off camera I should dust these out and get myself some shards, right? Because that's something I do not utilize enough. I used a lot of them on the apiary isle over there. Just to have that those decorated pots. Those are really nice. Bit of a pain in the butt to get a hold of, though. But not that bad. Wouldn't change it. All right, let's go skim the surface. How am I doing here? 2 minutes. Yeah. Let me go collect this stuff, and then we can end the stream here. Again, here's where the dolphin could come in handy right now. And, those dolphins, you can't pin them into place either. They break the leads always. They're always suffocating themselves. I guess that prevents them from being too overpowered because otherwise, right? And I know there's a way to trap them with the mine carts and stuff. Where's my conduit? What did I do with that? There it is. I suppose I should mark this, huh? Tell you what, this will make it easier to find at night. If I lose it. There. Okay, I think with that, folks, we should wrap things up here. Alrighty. Now, usually I have to dart right on out of here. And go pick up, go fetch Kachi from school. But let's see who's on right now. Usually Jeannie's streaming at this time, although I didn't see the notification. Oh, hey. Let's go see this guy. You read my mind shut. Okay, so there is the raid message in the chat. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you would like to come along with us on the raid. And I always encourage the viewers to join us on these raids. Even if you can't stay for the entire stream, drop in, say hi at the very least. And if you feel so inclined, a follow, some bits, sub would be really cool. And let's see if I get the case for this right. There we go. Okay, let's go rate our friend Skipjack81. Skipjack is, I think you guys are going to be seeing quite a bit more of him lately from our own streams here. For those of you who are family-friendly viewers, his stream is rated mature. There's probably some language there. I've seen a couple of his streams already. I've watched the VODs for a few of them. He seems like a really cool guy, so let's drop on in and say hi to him. So the raid is counting down now. And just remember, everyone, that we do this Generation stream every Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our next stream will be Friday. That'll be from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. This particular Friday will be another Generation stream. We'll be working on Baby Zombie Rush Beta. And then Sunday, we have 2 streams. Remember, it's going to be the launch of Buffooncraft Season 6. That will be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My time, I'll probably stream for about 2 hours. And then later in the afternoon, we'll have to see if Kachi's up for Kachi time, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's canceled the last 2 Kachi times. He hasn't felt up for it. So we'll see if he feels up for it. And then after that, our following stream will be the next Wednesday for Generations. So with that, great stream, Thunder. Had fun hanging out. Always a pleasure to have all of you here. Thank you so much for dropping by. We are raiding out to Skipjack now. Thanks again, everyone. Bye for now.